This for y'all.
That's short. God damn.
What's the deal, everybody? I hope all is well. God bless anybody watching this video. My name is David. I also go by the name Stay 1111 Golden. So today, I wanted to make a video explaining kind of what happened to me at the beginning of my year, beginning of my 2025. I feel like we all come in to the year with maybe some new goals or ambitions, and my perspective or mindset towards this year completely switched after what happened to me. And I figure maybe this video can help somebody who's just as ambitious as I am, or maybe perhaps speak to somebody to get them to realize something that I didn't really grasp for a long time. And is that we have to take care of ourselves on our paths. Our health is our priority. Our health is very important. If you're chasing any sort of goal or dream that you have, excuse me, even in working towards a career, that's already set out for you, going to school, going to graduate school, and working a job at the same time, or whatever your path is, um, I feel like the society is set up to for us to neglect our health. I won't get off on a woke tangent or whatever about the whole rat waste thing, and why we're so busy and why we don't really get the opportunity to pay as much attention to our health as we need to. But I'm 27 years old, and I started off the year with a little bit of a health scare that really changed my perspective towards how this year was going to be for me. So going into 2025, at the end of 2024, I was like, man, this year, like, I'm taking it. I've been on this path for so long as I can remember. And the course of action has changed as far as pursuing art, becoming an entrepreneur. If you don't know, I'm a tattoo artist now, and I've been working at that for about 3 years. And at the top of the year, um, like I said, it was just, man, we're about to go hard. Anything I want out of this year, I'm taking it. I don't care if it takes, going 3 hours of sleep every night. If I have to just work OT to, get content out. And obviously, I'm just now starting this channel. Um, but rearranging my approach to that, just like content, content, content. You have to market yourself. You have to become the best artist you can. You have to do all of these things. I'm also into the stock market and learning how to day trade. So it was like, I had a lot on my plate as far as, other personal things that I won't share. But as far as what I put on my plate to try to accomplish and achieve and the things that I wanted to get better at, I just was so passionate and ambitious about pouring all of my time into that, and even the time that I didn't have, you know, um, to accomplish the goals and get where I want to be. So, like I said, top of the year was just I was on go mode. It's going to take whatever it takes for me to get where I want to go, and I'm going to get there in an exponential way this year. So, God has a funny way of, I say God's plan over mine. God has a funny way of sitting us down sometimes. The top of the year, 2025, literally the day after or 2 days after New Year's, um, I suffer from frequent headaches. And I've been suffering from frequent headaches for about the last year. I always have just chalked up the excuse of, oh, it comes because I stare at a screen so long, from day trading stock, having to look at charts all the time, and then going straight into designing things for my tattoo clients, always constantly looking through pictures, being on my phone, having to message people back and forth. I'm on my phone and my iPad all of the time. So I figured, oh, bro, like you're just staring at a screen so much, it's whatever, headache will be about a 5 or a 6 at the most. It'll pass. I would get them at least like 2 to 3 times a week. Um, Sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on the week. But I always just like whatever about it, right? So, um, 2 days after New Year's, I get this really bad headache, and I was just, this happens all the time, and I end up going to the gym with my brother JF the Force, and we play basketball, we come back to my place, and I end up making us some food. I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, Jordan, JF, yeah, JF the Force, his name is Jordan. So Jordan gets up and he goes to the restroom, and I'm sitting there with this headache, and it's intense. It's just pressure. It's getting worse and worse. So I like laid down on my side to try to get some relief. Just kind of just like my head hurts. So I lay down to get some relief, and the next thing you know, I start having this weird feeling in my chest, like this tightness in my chest. So I sit up, I go to drink some water, take a sip of water, instantly I feel nauseous, right? Instantly. So I'm like, oh snap. So I stand up because I'm just like, I don't want to throw up. I stand up, and then when I stand up, I start to realize that I couldn't breathe. With every breath I was taking, it became harder and harder. So I end up making my way over to where Jordan was in the bathroom, and I tell him, "Hey, bro, I'm like breathing, trying to catch my breath." And I'm like, "Hey, bro, it's so funny because he always tells me, bro, I've never heard you phrase anything like this before." I calmly tell him, like, "Hey, man, I think I need you to call 911. I have this weird feeling in my chest. My head feels like it's about to explode, and now my breathing is going. Oh, also, and I was like tingling. I felt like tingliness throughout my hands. So anyway, he calls 911, and after a minute, I'm able to catch my breath, and I tell him to cancel the call. I end up rushing to the hospital. For the next 4 days, I end up in and out of the hospital pretty much all day. Shout out to my girlfriend. I love her so much. She was there for me throughout the whole process. And my mom, and of course Jordan was too. So I have to give a lot of credit to those people. I know they were worried, and I was worried too because I had no idea what was going on with me. I end up doing a CT on my head, which is a scan of your head to make sure that nothing, um, at least from what they can see from that type of test, is going on with your head. Um, and all of these other measures, take pictures of my heart, EKG, standard stuff that they do when you go to the hospital, affirm that I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke or anything. But I was kind of left in the dark about what was going on with me. There was really no answer, but I knew what I felt. And my headache lasted for about a week to week and a half. Now, I'm making this video about 2.5 weeks after this episode happened. And now I know that I'm more than likely suffering from intense migraines, right? Um, During that spell, I had also became so dizzy that I couldn't walk for a day, and then the next following days after were really rough on me. Um, in order to be able to walk, I was lightheaded, my equilibrium was off, I felt exhausted, I felt weak. At points, I would wake up and like that old school static that be on the TV that had the VCR attached to it, like where it would like shh, and it would be like salt and pepper on the screen. I would have that come over my field of vision. Um, but yeah, now I know that I more than likely I was suffering from some intense migraines, um, which can be brought on by stress. Um, they like to drug you up pretty much. I don't want to get into all the whole because I have some opinions about the medical system and the way I was done throughout this process in terms of finding out what was wrong. But bottom line, it all comes back to not taking care of yourself. I would tattoo for sometimes 12, 14 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? In those days. And not actually tattooing, but let's say my client gets there at 9, it takes me like an hour and a half to get going, set up the stencil or whatever. We started like 11, right? We started like 10:30, 11 time. We'll take a break and get something to eat within then. It may last like an hour, but I may not go home until midnight. You know what I'm saying? 12 hours later. In some cases, even 2 o'clock in the morning, just really pushing myself to focus and try to finish what I wanted to that day. And um, I feel like my perspective now has changed because as an artist, you're constantly wanting to evolve, right? You're constantly wanting to get better at your craft and push your limits. At least I am, with every new opportunity that I have to work on something, I'm trying to get better. I don't look at people that are average or mediocre. Like I try to go for I want to be as good as the best in the world, right? So every time I get an opportunity, that's what I'm shooting for throughout my process. And it's knowing that you're not there yet, but knowing that it's possible to attain that keeps you going. Because if somebody else can do it, why can't I? So, within that, I've been so dedicated to, working and trying to figure this out, kind of like on my own, how to get there and how to work in a way where, stuff comes out like that and whatever. But it takes a long time. It takes a long time. And I had really put myself in situations where it wasn't healthy for me. Going without eating or drinking water all day while working through this, doing it 2 days in a row, having one client on one day, coming in at like, because I always like to get there an hour earlier than my clients. So coming in at, 8:30, not leaving till 2 o'clock in the morning the next day, then coming back again, you know what I'm saying, at 9:30 the next day. So it may take me 30 minutes to get back home. I'm not getting home till like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, getting a little bit of sleep, waking right back up at, 7 o'clock, and then going and doing the same exact thing again. Same thing, no water, no food that day too. Going 2 days in a row on, 6 hours of sleep, maybe combined, maybe eight at the most between the 2 days, and not eating or drinking water. Even though I'm only 27, that catches up to you doing that after so many days. And I felt like it had finally caught up to me. And I just say this to say, anybody that may be in a similar lane or, going at something that hard to where you're neglecting your health, that goal isn't going to be able to be attained if you're not here for real, or if you're not capable, because you've put yourself in a situation where your body literally can't handle it, because your body is going to tell you at some point it will catch up. So I say that to say my focus for this year is on well-being, it's on health. It's on taking care of my mental health, taking care of my physical health, making sure I'm doing all of the things to make sure my body can be efficient in trying to do the things that I want to do. So I don't know exactly what that looks like moving forward. I've started to implement a different way of working into my schedule and into my process and my interactions with clients and things like that. I've also started to get into holistic health more. That's something I've always been passionate about. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dr. Sabi before. If you haven't, you should look him up. Product he swears by is sea moss. I've been making my own sea moss all of the time, and even thought about starting a brand for it. Just because as an entrepreneur, a lot of times when we have something we're passionate about, we think about like, oh man, like this can become a business somehow. So I may start to explore that. If you would like to support that, stay tuned because I will be selling CMOS at some point. Um, but yeah, just focusing on holistic health, focusing on the way I'm eating, my water drinking, taking walks, staying in my word, my spiritual health. That's very important too. On your path, just having a relationship with God. Any entrepreneur or anybody chasing anything, you cannot do it on your own. You have to have faith that you will be there. Faith is in the ability to believe in something that isn't there yet, where there's no tangible sign that says like, hey, you're gonna get this for sure, but you're just pouring your all into it. That's faith. So you have to have complete faith in God, um, that you trust you will be where you want to be, and that God is going to bless you and look out for you in your life in a way where even though it doesn't come at the time that you want, you will be there because it never does. It never does. And I've experienced this firsthand up to this point with anything else I've ever set forth. I've gotten a lot of things that I wanted, but did it look like how I pictured it would be before I had it? No, not at all. Um, but I just wanted to make this video to one, let you guys know what is going on with me because it's going to predicate a lot of the way I do things moving forward as an artist, and also my content in terms of what I put out, how I speak about things, um, the nature of some of the things I may do in my video, showing you guys what I'm eating and stuff like that. It's trying to be healthy, as far as building my personal brand, just letting you guys know who I am, and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. This is why, man, because at the top of the year, I was scared. I was scared. I've never been afraid to die, but just having something going on with you to the point where you can't feel normal and you don't know when you're going to feel normal again, like not being able to breathe, those are serious problems, but now I know that it's something that a lot of people suffer from, these headaches and these migraines, and also anxiety that's brought on with them too. The little episode that I had, I didn't feel like it was a panic attack, but that's the only explanation for it. And sometimes your body can not be okay with you not being okay, despite the fact that I felt mentally like I was okay. My body had its own trauma response more than likely, or was a part of the migraine. It was, one of the symptoms that come with it. But bottom line, man, if there's anything anybody gets from this, I just want to help somebody. If you're listening to me, I hope maybe God has brought you to this video for some odd reason, for you to just understand that you need to take care of yourself. If you haven't, make sure you get the sleep that you need to get. Make sure you drink the water you're supposed to. Make sure you're eating well. Even taking it further, make sure you're taking extra measures and exercising. Taking care of your cardiovascular health. All of those things, they're important. They're very important, man, because you only get one body, you only get one life, and I'm pleading with you guys. I understand if you feel like you don't have the time to do it, but I would rather make the time to do it than run out of time. So my approach toward this year is health, wellness, taking care of myself. And I hope it's the same for you guys. And I hope that God blesses each and every one of you to get um, everything you want out of this life. Not just this year, because who knows, it may be a year of regression for even further progression. I feel like that's what 2024 was for me. I felt like I was getting beat down, man. I felt like at every turn, it was just another hurdle for me, man. Another challenge that I'm sorry to get emotional about it. Like, it just felt like as much effort as I put into trying to move forward, that things they just weren't working out for me, man. And I just pray that everybody understands and has faith and trust in your journey. Don't compare yourself to other people. And I know it's hard, especially in this social media age that we're living in right now. It's really hard to just focus on your path and where you're going, and not telling yourself, I'm not where they are, and I know I'm speaking to somebody right now, but just have faith, man. Stay in your word, trust in God. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. I am going to be um, an example to let you guys know you can do it. I am nowhere near what is in my mind. Nowhere near. But man, man, use this video as a postmark. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when, I don't know how much longer, but I'm not stopping. So, God bless everybody. Thank you for watching this video. If you feel so kind, please give me a like, hit that like button for me, subscribe to my channel for more day in the life content. I'll probably do a couple of things with my brother JF the Forest, incorporate things about health, tattoos, my process, art, all types of things. You know, this isn't just about tattoos. This isn't just about me, talking to you guys trying to be motivational or whatever. I don't even, if it comes off like that, that's cool, but that's not even really my goal. I'm just trying to share whatever's on my heart, whatever's on my spirit, and maybe it can help somebody out. So thank you for watching again. God bless and stay golden.